Well, this is something a bit different. This is a Stern Galaxy. These are pretty rare. I don't think there's many, if any, others in the UK. It's very projecty, I'm afraid. It needs quite a bit of work doing. We've got half a bent flipper, no flipper on that side. Switches are missing, nice white shiny rubbers though, funny enough, despite the fact that half the playfield's missing. What have we got here? Switch missing there. These will be targets, won't they? They're all missing. Drop banks there. This is missing. What have we got here? Oh, they're all missing. I don't think they're all missing as such. I think they're a lot of it's just hanging off the bottom. Well, the targets are anyway. A couple of coils. This is a mess in here. Big pile of wires. Oh, I can see bare mains wire there, so that's obviously not going to get powered up. Quite a bit to do on this. And a quick look behind the glass on the back box. We've got all the displays, don't know which work if any. Yeah, they're the Stern ones as well. We've got a CPU board. That's a proper Stern one, yeah. We've got a Bally lamp board. And we've got the proper Stern soundboard. No power supply, but I think I've got one in a box under the pin. With bars falling off. There's no lock, that's why. Not too bad in here. It's not. Sometimes you get loads of corrosion and rust on the back of these. It doesn't look too bad. Does not look too bad in here. One thing I've had to do is I've had to stand it on a couple of pieces of wood because this neck part was missing. But I've got someone to make one of those for me, so I should be able to fit that soon. What should we do then? So I think I've got a battery on it. Yeah, it's got a leaking battery. We need to get that off. The board's not terrible, but it certainly needs some corrosion work. Oh, and the ROMs are rusty. Oh, that's not great, really. Yep, that board definitely wants a bit of work. Yeah, we've got a really crappy looking power supply here. It's definitely got some new caps on it. All these transistors are mangled up. Relay smashed. That wants quite a bit of work. Got a bit of corrosion on it as well. Oh, and a dodgy transistor desoldering job. A bit of corrosion. We can probably make this decent, but at least quite a bit of work. This is going to be horrendous to work on, actually. Someone's gone and cut all the wires. Look, there's like big bundles of wires that have been cut everywhere. It looks like someone was actually dismantling this and stripping it down, possibly. Oh dear, there's quite a lot of wires to replace. Oh, there's a big bundle from there. This looks like a nightmare. Yep, definitely a lot of work to do here. Right, so I think the first place to start is get this machine into a state where it can be powered up safely. So we've got a new mains lead on here. Not the safest looking. I can see a bare mains lead there on that blue and black wire there where they join. What have we got? This is the transformer block with the regulator board. I think we can actually take this out in one piece. I might be able to put it on the bench. We've got burnt power connectors there. That will go onto the regulator board, I assume. This bit doesn't look too bad. Yeah, okay, so looks like we're going to definitely want to wire up this regulator board. That's in a mess. It's got some cut wires on it, some soldered on wires. Oh, dear me, that looks terrible. If we get this brick out here, we can try working on this regulator board on the bench as one complete unit. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the transformer brick out of the cab, and it looks pretty terrible. We've got some ridiculous 20 amp fuses and things in here that probably shouldn't be in there. We've got wires soldered onto the connectors and cut. We've got burnt connectors. It's not looking great. Oh, there's a wire at the back as well that's been cut. And these things use piddly little bridge rectifiers that probably need replacing with bigger ones. Yeah, look at them little piddly ones. That rectifier board's a bit of a mess. We need to definitely work on that. Yeah, it's ground braided and some attention as well. I think that one there should go screwed into that leg plate, and that one as well. I'll complete that circuit, and then I think this end goes up into the back box, probably. I just need to get that right, make sure we've got good solid grounds, and meter out everything electrical, make sure everything electrical is earthed. We'll do that next. Right, so as it stands, this rectifier board is somewhat dodgy and unsafe. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make it usable for now, and then replace it in the future with a new board I'm actually working on now. I've got some new pin headers to put on because these are just, destroyed. We'll check all the fuses out, check the holders out, we'll check the bridge rectifiers out. If they're okay, then we'll just use the board as is. Like I say, we'll just repair what we need to, and then we're going to replace this with a better board coming shortly. The back of the board's pretty crappy as well. Someone's replaced this bridge rectifier at some point. It's higher than the other two, which means that those are not going to make good contact with the heatsink, whereas this one will. So these two are going to be getting stressed out. So we definitely want to get this board replaced at some point. There's some sort of dodgy wire here, which is all buggered up and melted. So I think that's shorted out on the back of somewhere. That's terrible. That's definitely melted, yeah. So that's probably just shorted. I think we've got, there should be a wire here. There's not a wire there. There's something hackery here. This certainly needs going over. I've printed out the schematic so I can have a look and check it all against the original wiring diagram. Right, so that's all the old connectors off. As you can see, we've had a bit of a burning problem here. Not sure if there's supposed to be something there. Well, we certainly need to clean this up before we put the new headers on. Need to find out what's supposed to be there in the middle, if anything, and put a nice heavy juicy patch across that track there. Let's get that repaired and we'll put new headers on. Okay, so the first job is complete and we've got new headers on. I repaired that track with a piece of wire and I cut a piece out of this housing here to allow me to do that neatly. So that part's done. Next we'll move on to these fuse holders. So we'll check all the fuses are the correct values, we'll check the fuse holders are good and replace as necessary. Okay, so the fuses all check out okay, the holes all check out pretty good, apart from this 20 amp one. Oh well, you can see this. Now, when they designed these boards, they really were stressing out the fuse holders, well, the entire circuit, really putting 20 amps in one circuit. And as you can see, all the coatings seems to have burned or corroded off of these clips. I think we'll put some new clips on this 20 amp one here. Right, I've just removed this resistor here and tested it out of circuit, and it is actually open. So this has unfortunately failed. As you can see, it's got pretty hot at some point in the past, and that's caused the failure. There we go, that's the new fuse clips on, and we've put this silly orange fuse back in place, and that seems to be good contact now. Well, I decided to take the bridge rectifiers off as well, as there's no way they were going to work very well with one of them being higher than the others. Yeah, this one had been replaced, and they did a bit of a messy job of replacing it, so I need to clean all that up. Right, so this is one of the original bridge rectifiers here, which is a piddly little thing, and this is what I'm going to replace it with. There you go, you can see them side by side. That should be a little bit more reliable than that. There we go. Now we can see those have been installed on the top side now instead of the rear of the board. Right, so as you can see, the solder work's all looking a lot nicer now after I've replaced everything. I think we've still got to deal with this wire here, so we just need to check the schematic and find out where that's supposed to go and solder it on. That wire seems to come from terminal 16 on the transformer, this white and grey wire, same colour over here. According to the manual, terminal 16 is black and yellow. It certainly isn't black and yellow. I better check into this properly before we go soldering back on. So yeah, it appears that is the right one. You've got E12 there and a little arrow pointing to that solder dot. If we look on the back, that's basically where there's a wire been broken off previously. So let's clean that up and we'll resolder the wire on there. That seems to be the correct spot. In fact, let's just quickly check. Right, so that goes to the AC side of that rectifier there. Yeah, E12, that's the AC side, yeah, that looks alright. Well, there we go, that wire's on. And I've obviously ended up lying to myself because I said I wasn't going to fully rebuild this, I was going to replace it. But I've actually pretty much rebuilt everything on here now. Just going to do some checks, make sure everything's good. I'll still need to get that resistor, and then kind of ready to test it in the game soon. Oh, look at this. Can't help myself. I'm replacing the diodes here as well. Put these new ones in now. Well, this is interesting. This is the general illumination relay, which is on the transformer board. And this wire here looks suspicious. Now that's the input wire. Goes on the input side. That's the input wire going there. And then the normally closed contact here. And that's basically bridging the input to the normally closed, so that is permanently closed. So I suspect something's wrong somewhere in the relay circuit, and someone's gone, sod it, let's just bridge over it because we can't be bothered fixing things properly. And I'm going to have to take that wire off and find out what the problem was with that. Well, I took the relay off and I've metered it out, everything seems okay with it. So I've taken that wire off and put it back to how it should be. And we'll have to see how it works when we eventually get this fired up.